Hello YouTube, welcome back to another video. Joey here, and we are doing another Uncut Analysis where we do another win streak, and today it will be 6 wins in a row. Now, someone asked me the other day, and it was actually a good question. Why don't you extend this more and see where it goes? Well, just because I was done playing for today. So yeah, that's basically it. And I feel like my luck is running out. Now, we start going first. We got a pretty good hand. Always use pot of E for that ash, because there it is. And hopefully man with the mark goes through, and then we can set up all our casual plays. Today we have a lot of interesting videos actually. It's not just playing going second. Scorpion is back. Also Temple is back. So we have an interesting deck. I will show you at the end of the video. I might adjust it still. But we have a great back row here. So we have Imperm, we have a Negate with the Snake, we have Songs, we have a Rivalry. Rivalry will come in clutch because I wanted to trap him into something else. But unfortunately he went Marshmallow first. Now Imperm gets negated, that's completely fine. He goes into his normal plays. I decide to do this now. I can only have reptiles, but I can perfectly exist with just reptiles. Now here's something important. DT has the opportunity to also negate the Snatchy, because Songs will be negated, but I negate the Purge, which means Purge gets negated, which means Songs will activate, and therefore I can draw a card, my own Purge in this instance. Important, otherwise I could not have drawn a card. So here we just do the long route to man with the mark, but we can't summon him because of Rivalry. We attack with 2 snakes because it's more damage, and then we go into the big snake, getting the snakes back, and from here it's all good for us. We set another one, we have a Purge, we have 3 negates, a floodgate, or actually 4 negates, a pop. From here, with the cards he had, he wasn't coming back. So that was pretty powerful display of how I can just play under just reptiles. That was a lot of just. I'm a little bit late in the season right now. I was trying so hard to make Odion K9 work, but I couldn't get it. Okay, here we have a little bit of a vulnerable spot, because all we have is Treasure of the Kings. And luckily Temple is back, so we can try and make plays with that. We go the long route to man with the mark. We actually get to summon him. We get to draw a verdict. And here we are going to set up the big snake. Since Temple is back anyway, now we have a little bit more to work with. We can even not set the Imperm. And here he goes, negating one by one. Harpy's Feather Duster, obviously negate that. There's another snake. We now have more pops. Here I decide to get Verdict because now I know what I'm facing, and it will not, this card will not pop me monsters on the field. It hardly ever does. Only when they play the field spell or maybe the K9 continuous card. Like this it's better. Now Snake can clean up the field, so there is no swapping cards from the hand. My opponent scoops. That was all going first. From here we are all going second. So it's not just playing going first, opponent scooping. Anyway, the Odion K9, it bricked too much. When it worked, it was fantastic, but I just couldn't get the card combinations I needed. Alright, here I shotgun Maxi, and I do not always do that. Because when my opponent is playing Odion, you want to hold on to it for when all the snakes come to the field. It's better. Here we had load and we had barrel. I decided to go load first because load normally draws me a barrel. I already have that. So just walk the normal steps and we baited a negate here. A Purge. Now we get the normal place. We set Labradorite. I attack. And here I set the rest of my field. Now I don't synchro summon because they are going to feed my tirade. I'm still a fan, I'm still using it. This works great with DT as well, because this continuous trap will give my DT a negate. However, this might look a little bit weird. I'm summoning it now, but the game asked me, my opponent was ending his main phase 1. So I decided to summon my DT, because my DT will activate my drill beam, which means if he has an evenly matched, I can negate that evenly matched. So if you're wondering why DT came out, that's the reason. I summoned it in attack position. Here I do not summon my barrel, because I had to plan to synchro these into a level 6 and then hold on to barrel to keep the drill beam active. But in the end I decided not to do that. I don't remember why I didn't. But also, when that might have looked weird, that's the reason why. My opponent showed his hand and then he scooped. He was playing the new deck with all the MTS cards. Space Typhoon deck. But I guess it bricked pretty much. Another game. Going second. It's all second from here. What happens here? Okay, I think this is where we get a little bit lucky, because my opponent is playing DDD. And here he draws into the Kelper. I negate the Kelper and he has no follow-up, which is crazy. Normally, you cannot stop this deck from getting a setup. Now it worked, however. Which one do you want to bait first? The Load or the Anubis? We use Load as the bait. He ashes. Now we are safe to go into Man with the Marketplace. But we get drolled. So, a little bit different cold here. We have Baron. We attack. I cannot pop because of Load, but my opponent already scoops, which is interesting, but we had some good follow-up there. We could have worked with that. That was game number 4. On to number 5. 2 more. So yeah, as soon as I got back from Odion K9 to Odion Primite, I got this win streak. So I guess I'm sticking with it till master at least. And maybe when I get at that checkpoint, I will switch. Important stuff here. So I see barrel. I negate it. I held on to Max C this time because it might be Primite Odion and I want to keep it for all the snakes. I learned from that, the other game. Now, that won't work. Unfortunately, now my suspicions are true. And I have a pretty good hand to follow up. It's basically just going first, which Odion really loves to do. Now, okay, there was another bait. Actually, I had 2 of those cards. Scorpion is here because I want the bigger body. My opponent decides to use all his Solemns. I think I am looking pretty well. I have 2 negates and a Max C here. He goes man again. I negate it because if he already has a temple, I have drill beam, and I know for a fact he doesn't because he would have played it otherwise in his first turn. Okay, here we just go on with the game. Now we can pretty much rack it up. We draw a man. Here I go into my serpent because I don't know what that back row card is. I use my temple to summon my serpent to pop with the big snake, and it is his Apopus card. He scoops because that's not gonna negate anything. We have drill beam to get rid of the man. We can clean up that field pretty easily and go for OTK there. Last game. I'll go in second. On my way back to master. Hopefully I will reach it before Monday when we go live again. I'll do my best. I can't promise anything. Shifter. Gift from God going first. My opponent is playing a 60 card pile with a Cartesia. So I was first thinking this is branded, but you never know. Anyway, I still want to negate that. I don't want him to fuse at all. He sets 1 card, and that 1 card will turn out to be exactly what he needs here. So I'm baiting with the man. Okay, nothing. So I set my Temple of the Kings, and he actually has a flame. He hard drew it from a 60 card deck. The card he really needed. We're still under Shifter. So at first I was thinking, okay, I'm pretty screwed because I don't have a second monster. to get my tirade active. I cannot draw with it. I have no other negates apart from Solemn and Verdict. I have no snakes. So he's just next turn going to use this Cartesia, set all these Dracotail traps. But he does it on his own turn, which is interesting because now all these cards are banned, including the Sharon. He summons a Chimera, which will do absolutely nothing because non-monster was sent to the graveyard. So that was interesting. And now all I need him to do is play a spell card, which he instantly does. So I can now get rid of the Chimera, which would otherwise have been a difficult story. So yeah. Second monster is the Malulu. Definitely using Judgment on that. I don't want to risk anything because I knew he had the Albion, so he had 2 dragons. He might have left. I don't even want to know what he might have had. But from here, it's all good because we have Bada E drawing me absolutely nothing. Well, nothing useful, that is. Although I can draw with this, I can summon that, I can set with the second treasure. That was over. Anyway, this was my win streak of 6 so far. Hopefully I can extend it a little bit today and we can pick it up tomorrow when we go live. This is the deck so far. I have used this for quite a while. I need to clean it up a bit. I am considering this time to take out Fenrir, Unicorn and Birth and put in 3 Super Poly, which would be a little bit less going first, a little bit more going second. I could take out stuff like Supernova, Crimson Dragon. These never came out. All the time I've had them, they never ever came out. Also Zeus, I don't remember he ever came out, so that's 3. This never came out, that's 4. So that's 4 Super Poly targets I could put in. I'll think about it. I'll let you guys know because Super Poly would conflict a little bit with these 2, but we'll see. Hopefully I'll see you guys next time. Take care guys. Thank you guys for watching.